Yo, what's up, guys? It's Spencer. And we're back. If you've seen me in a while, things have happened. Not really. The numbness is still growing in my brain. But today, I want to talk about relationships. Not friendships. Relationships. That lovey-dovey stuff you do with your partner and stuff like that. Guy or girl or alien, whatever the fuck. Anyways, today I'm going to explain my, I guess maybe my grievances. Nothing too crazy. Just my opinion and why I'm just not in. I'm not in the game anymore. Well, not really much game. I've never had any fucking relationship, even though I tried a lot throughout the years. Even when I looked fucking ugly as shit. But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm just not in it anymore. I just don't believe in this shit. I just think it's super unnecessary in general. Reason number one. It's tedious. It's tedious all the time. There's just like all these videos, there's all these people, advice about like, ooh, you shouldn't care how people think about you, or oh, you shouldn't care about looks. And then there's like, the fact that all the ugly fuckers, obviously, no one dates them. So I mean, obviously looks matter, personality, obviously that one matters, but overall, like, women and guys will still go after shitty fucking partners no matter what, even if their personality is just absolutely awful. And sure, the relationship doesn't last long, but the fact that it happens anyways is crazy. Or the fact that, like, people that you think are obviously smart, like, you think they're smart people, or at least they're, like, normal, and they still go after these, like, obnoxious and just piece of shit people, like, people who, like, do not treat them with any respect, leech off them, treat them like shit, or just total douchebags all around, Or like the women are just bitches too as well. You see that stuff and it's just crazy, You kind of lose respect for who you had a crush on. And then there's just like, oh God. There's just so much. There's just so much tedious shit, Just like looks, money, all this other stuff. Trying to actually find anybody that is respectful. Because, God, like, there's people I've met, and, they're kind of cool, and there's people who are like, ooh, I love you, ooh, or show at least some affection towards me, like, or at least some type of shit, it's either I'm just not attracted to them, or I just think they're superficial. And that comes to my second problem. Who is truly in love with you? Who truly likes you? Because that is something I have a huge problem with, and I feel some people out there have the same problem as well. Fucking like, God, wait. Fucking superficiality. I just can't tell who is being genuine. You can never tell who's genuine. You just like, they show all this affection and it's like, oh wow, that's kind of nice, but are they actually being real to me, or are they just being nice just to be nice, or they're trying to set you up, and I always been set up and shit. So at this point, I just do not trust any of that. And then number 3 is clinginess. There's some people who will like you, and you just don't like them, but they'll still cling on to you just because they think they can get to you. And it's the most annoying shit ever. I fucking hate clingy people. Clingy people are awful. The only way I could like someone who's clingy is if I like their personality and I like how they look, and they have an actual not insufferable personality. That would be my only reason to go out with them, But besides that, they're still gonna be clingy, and they're gonna make sure you're not free at all. Like, ooh, no, ooh, you have a friend, you can't be with that friend. No. So then, immediately out the window. And then I guess my other reasons are just you know, just overall, just like, you try, you try over and over, and you just can't, get there. You just can't get there at all. And the thing with relationships, from how I know, is that they all fail. They all fail and they all fuck up, no matter what, And it just seems kind of useless to go through all that and just end up like that, Or just in general, it's like, with the type of connection I have with the friends I have, relationships are kind of like a step above, you could say. Like, there's more connectiveness. You are willing to say everything, You're willing to say a lot with them, Except for your friends, you kind of, you have boundaries with them, You're not fucking your friends, unless friends with benefits. And that's like some cuck shit. But anyways, it's like, I'm not willing to really tell a lot of people the really inner shit about me. Just knowing the fact they're going to be superficial and betray me, Or some other shit. Or it's like the fact that, like, at some point they're going to be a mental nutcase, and then they're going to go around like, blah, 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 blah. Guys, do you know this? Do you know this? This guy's an asshole. Fuck him. I am not willing for that shit to happen, And nobody does, right? Like, that's why I don't get some people who just, like, who just crave for a relationship. Like, I can kind of understand it. But you have to, like, really think. You have to really think. When you get into a relationship, you have to realize that, okay, cool, I finally have a partner. I'm no longer an incel, or I'm no longer fucking whatever. I'm no longer a lonely person. And then, boom. The fact that, like, oh shit, I have to tell my partner I have to be that close with them. And I have to risk the fact that they're going to betray me, right? They're going to possibly betray me, or they're going to act their mouth out, and they're going to possibly, like, say shit about me. Or just, I don't know, it's like, I don't know I just don't know how to feel about it. Like, I just do not know how to feel just, like, being that close to somebody, Like, I can't really think of certain people I could be really close with, And some of the people who have been attracted to me are people I don't really like, And I know so many people talk about how, ooh, I don't have preferences, ooh, people have too many standards. Women have so many standards. Men have so many. And, and people say all this shit, but be fucking honest with yourself, okay? You have standards too. You have fucking standards. Don't lie. Don't lie. Because, number one, if you say you don't have standards, okay, go fucking... That guy over there who's, like, homeless and smokes crack, he likes you. Do you want to date him? No, you don't. You don't want to date a guy like that. Or, like, oh, fucking Gorlock the Destroyer, fat as fuck woman, fat as fuck guy, fucking greasy and shit. Some hygiene, but still really fat, and they're too clingy. Do you want that? I mean, there's people who probably want that, but still, average person, you don't want that shit, okay? You don't want that, And I know this because no one likes fat people. No one likes fat bitches. Same thing with anorexic bitches. Sometimes you don't even want those people either because they look like fucking skeletons, and they're going to fucking, like, eat your brains or something, They look like zombies. But damn, it's like all this shit, you have to go through all this tedious shit, you have to find somebody that might actually love you. And then when you end up with somebody, you still can't really trust them, And even then, like, I just don't like any bitches. I really do not like a lot of bitches, and obviously I'm not gay, so I'm not even gonna go with men. Yeah, and I know this fucking video is a yap fest, because it is. All these videos are yapped, technically, but except I'm a philosopher, of course, so half yap. Anyways, like, relationships just kind of shit, and I don't really see the purpose of them, especially when you marry someone, you have to share all the money, you gotta do all this stuff, and then you divorce, and oh no, you're broke. I don't want to do that. It's awful. And over the years, I had these this deluded thoughts that I need a relationship. I have 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And back then I couldn't really get any dates, I wasn't that attractive. I looked pretty fucking bad. I look way better than before. And and the type of bitches I tried dating, usually women, always women, by the way. And they would just be weirded out by me. They just didn't like me. And there was even a case that happened to me a while ago, some years ago, where I was attracted to somebody, and I spoke to someone's friend saying, hey, I was thinking of maybe being able to date this person, I had something with them. And this is when I was 16, and this girl was 15, Nothing weird. So then that friend proceeded to tell that bitch that I was weird and creepy, even though all I said was, I have a crush. I'm letting you know this because, I'm going to try something, I wanted some advice, right? And then later on, the same bitch I had a crush on, she just goes hey everyone, Spencer's a creep. Spencer's a fucking weirdo. Spencer is a predator. Oh. And she tried to say something that I liked her when she was 14 and I was 16, something weird like that. Which even then, that's not even weird either. That's still normal. So I don't even know what she was thinking. She was a fucking idiot. And then there was this other bitch that I wish, well, I'm not gonna say bitch, but this one girl, and I still speak to her at times. And we're extremely close, yet she is dating a guy. And the funniest thing is that she tells me things that she never even speaks to her boyfriend about. And from when I hear this shit, I'm like, wow, why is she not dating me? It's so weird. And I'm not joking. We speak about some dark shit, a lot of personal shit. So to think that is it's kind of weird, And she's doing an online relationship too. I don't know. We're such close proximity, she might as well go with me. But anyways, okay, that sounded narcissistic. Guys, I don't think that. Guys. Okay. But yeah, overall, I've tried and never got it. But yeah, it's just just from all this shit, and seeing so many failed relationships from my life from other people, and just knowing this, what happens in general, and seeing all this stuff, and the fact that I just don't I just fumble at any type of person communication, any type of friendship, just all that shit, because of just how fucked people are and how just robotic they are and how unreal they are, just kind of really inhuman they are, even though they're humans, right? Especially in the town I live, a small town, sort of, it's one of the biggest cities in my state I live in. Just all of this stuff that just makes you less motivated to do any of this, and I hate these channels that just go or all these people that try to influence people oh, don't be demotivated by the most obvious bullshit that you can't get through. You need to pursue through the bullshit that literally is a brick wall and you can't actually go through it. You can't even destroy it. It's bedrock. But you can get through it somehow. And when I see all this bullshit, it's like seeing cheating in a game, Some people are just obviously cheating. You're seeing with your own eyes. And you're man, I'm done playing this. I'm done playing this game. This is literal bullshit. You know, all this stuff right here. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? You know? And that's why I'm done with the dating shit. I'm done in the game. I'm done doing the game. I'm done being part of this. And I know you guys are too. No one wants to be part of this shit. No one wants to. But anyways, that's it. That's what I wanted to say on camera. I want to upload some more for you guys, for any of my thoughts and opinions. I was just going through such a numbness a lot, just like weeks of numbness. Just kind of like, fuck shit. In that last video, man, I was really pissed off. I seem a bit more happier, but I'm still very angry, from that last video. But yeah, that's, okay. But yeah, okay. Anyways, that's what's gonna be the end of this video. Enjoy your Monday. I know I will too. Just sitting in my house like a fucking idiot. Anyways, see you guys on the flip side.